John 14:2. In domo patris mei mansiones multae sunt. Sic hominos dixissem vobis, quae vado parare vobis locum. In the house of my Father there are many places to stay. If it were anything less, I would have said to you that I am going to prepare a place for you. First we have in plus ablative, and then this genitive construction attached to domo, so in the house of my Father, or my Father's house. And then we have this main clause right here, mentiones multae sunt. You'll note in the translation portion, I said places to stay for mansiones. While this looks like the English word for mansion, and in fact has etymological relation to it, it does not mean that. If you recall how Latin word formation works, you'll remember your principal parts, manere, mansisse, mansum. Then from mansum, drop off that case ending, then add io, then you have mansio, a place to remain, or a staying place. And this is a very fair translation of the underlying Greek, which is formed in a very similar way actually. Let this be a reminder that we can't rely on English for our vocabulary. We actually have to study vocabulary independently. Latin has gone through 2,000 years of linguistic change by the time we get to today's English. And while many words have not changed hardly at all, there are some words like this, and especially other words borrowed from French, that have changed quite considerably, and we need to keep an eye out for those. Then we have sic hominos. The most conservative way that we could possibly render that, and it still makes sense in English, would be if less than that. A bit more idiomatic of a way of expressing this idea would be if it were anything else, if it were less than that. This phrase is known and attested by the Dictionary of Medieval Latin from British sources, but even if it weren't, the Greek is quite clear and elucidates the phrase entirely. Ideme. Literally if not, more idiomatically though, if this were not the case. Then we have dixissem vobis, I would have said to you. And then we have another use of quia, introducing either an object clause or direct speech, where we would normally expect quod, though in reality with dixissem, no conjunction is required at all. However, quia is probably there to mirror the underlying Greek, hoti, which itself is omitted in quite some manuscripts. Then we have vado parare vobis locum. Vado, present tense first person singular with the complementary infinitive parare. Vobis, that is for you or in the interest of you. Locum, accusative, that which is being prepared. There are a few ways to express purpose in Latin, and the complementary infinitive is one of them, though a little bit less common of one, and was probably chosen to mirror the underlying Greek. Here are two more translations below that would also make sense with the context. The last thing I'll point out to you is the choice of punctuation. I treated the second sentence as a statement of fact conditional and not a question, but a lot of modern translations will treat it as a question. And there are some who will break up the verse right here, put a period, and treat I'm going to prepare a place for you as a statement as well. By my judgment, most of these interpretations are perfectly fine and can work with the context.